Hello, Oracles. Well, Tesla continues to fall going into the split, which is fine by me because I continue to add more. Today I added another $10 at $863. And paying attention to the charts, where we are headed, last week we looked at the cup and handle pattern that we were in. And, there's typically sometimes can be a little bit of a tail off afterwards before a breakout. We are still continuing that. We are still holding within that at the moment. And what I have noticed as well to give me more confidence and conviction that we will bounce out of this is we are creating gap downs now. So just like there's a gap up where, we are looking at the 776 and the 742 gaps below us, there are also gaps above us. Now, gaps above us, typically with a company that's going to be growing, when it comes to a down gap, there's a chance that we are most likely going to fill it in the future. It's just a matter of, are we going to fill it with this nice rebound and breakout, or are we going to fill it further on down the road? Either way, we have these down gaps that will get filled in the future. So looking at why we're pulling back, what's going on with the market. So we actually outperformed the market. Despite being down 2.25% today, the NASDAQ was down over 2.5% and the S&P was down over 2%. Now, Tesla being a beta 2.0 means that it would swing twice as much as the broader market. So if the S&P is down 2%, that means that Tesla should be down about 4%, but it was only down 2%. I think that has to do with the split. So while we're not getting a run up into the split, we are outperforming the market going into the split. Still very bullish. And so we are still getting this full market pullback based upon Fed Bullard coming out saying that a 75 basis point hike is still on the table for the September FOMC meeting. Now we have the Jackson Hole symposium that is going on this weekend. That is where all the Fed members get together and discuss things. And, obviously going into this, we're going to be anticipating they're going to be discussing inflation, unemployment, everything that is going on having to do with inflation and the interest rates potentially going up. So this has the market a little bit on edge. We've seen it in the headlines, and when things start to hit the headlines, they tend to cause uncertainty in the market. That's just where we are at right now. That's why we are seeing as much red as we are. And so we may actually end up seeing this continue on through until we get the CPI data that comes out in September, and then even by the FOMC meeting coming out on September 25th and 26th. So this pullback and this uncertainty might actually last for another month, which for me means that we have about another month of amazing buying opportunities when it comes to Tesla. Now, we did hear that Chicken Genius was talking about we might actually be heading further down because, we're heading into a recessionary period while we are raising interest rates. That could be an ugly storm going forward. I'm just going to play this day by day as I have been all along. I'm doing my dollar cost average, and I have my 10% cash that I have been utilizing little by little as we have been pulling back. That is going to continue to be my strategy as I go forward with all of this. I'm balancing it on both ends. I still have cash reserves in case we pull back further, but I'm also dollar cost averaging just in case we do not get that further pullback in the future. So just things I'm going to monitor. I'm going to keep you guys posted every day when it comes to the charts to see where we are flowing, see if we are breaking any of the trends that we are in. But looking at some things when it comes to Tesla stock, and Stephen Mark Ryan had mentioned something in his video the other day talking about, Ross Gerber had his interview when he was at the Tesla Silicon Valley get together, and he talked about how not investing in the market is just as risky as investing in the market. Sometimes it could be riskier. And Stephen Mark Ryan had mentioned the same thing. And it's when it comes to Tesla, it's sort of like when you see that beautiful woman walking down the road and you're like, well, I'm afraid to say, anything to her because I'm afraid I'm going to get rejected. And that mindset that comes into people's heads of, well, what happens if it fails? Well, we need to change that mindset. What happens if it doesn't fail? What happens if it succeeds? People are looking at Tesla saying, well, they're going in the right direction, but what happens if they don't solve FSD? What happens if they don't get AI solved? What happens if we don't have Optimus that comes out? What happens if they don't get robotaxis? Well, what happens if they do? What happens if they do solve all of these things that they are proving that little by little, step by step, they are getting closer and closer to solving? What happens if they do? What happens if they do solve it and you have not invested your money? This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you that you should or you shouldn't invest one way or the other. I'm definitely telling you, do your own due diligence and research, watch many videos that are out there, research everything you can on the company, both bears and bulls. I do both because I like to see all ends of the spectrum and everybody's opinions on this. But when it comes down to it, when I see the actual facts, when I see the true trends of what the company has done and what they are going to be doing in the future, I would rather have my money invested in the company and take that risk rather than not investing. There's a beautiful woman who wants to be part of my life, and her name right now is TSLA. Now sure, I'd love a beautiful woman who's actually a woman as well and not like an Optimus bot or anything else or a stock, but for the moment, I am looking at my future and I want to make sure that my future is invested as wisely as it can be. And as far as I am concerned, Tesla is the wisest place I can put my money right now. And now, just to be fully transparent, I am not 100% in Tesla. And the reason I am not is because I need cash flow generation coming in to be able to buy more Tesla. So my two outlets for that are, one, I am saving up to buy a house, and the other is I do have some cash in some other stocks and some crypto that I do utilize for some swing plays to be able to build up more cash to be able to invest in Tesla. That is the only reason I am not 100% in, just because I'm trying to utilize that other money to get me more money to invest in Tesla. And when it comes to putting my money into the stock, this is why I'm playing it the way I play it. This is playing right into my strategy that I have been building all year long. Getting myself up to 10% cash so that I can deploy even more of it as we get these dips, because we've talked about it all year long. We are in a very rough and uncertain market. We would love for Tesla to run. I want Tesla to run, and it is going to run. But we still have to respect the macro environment. And as we had spoken about before, Tesla is going to find its top end of its spectrum when it's going to be running, seeing how it can go based on fundamentals and news and sentiment. And the bottom is going to be determined by the macro environment. Currently, we have gone into a more risk-off environment, whereas the last month and a half we were risk-on. So risk-off means that people are less apt to take risks in high-growth stocks. Tesla, even though it is profitable, is still a high-growth stock. So a lot of the market is starting to pull back right now as we go into a risk-off environment, and this is, to me, what is going to be the next pullback. Now, a lot of people will say, well, aren't you catching a falling knife? I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I will continue to catch all of these falling knives, and then when Tesla turns around, I will come up with a flaming sword. That's how this is going to go for me. This is how I feel that we are going to go in the future. So I will catch this falling knife all day long. I have prepared myself to be able to catch this falling knife because I have anticipated that I'm going to continue having cash to continue adding as we come down, and nobody knows where the bottom is going to be. Could be lower. Maybe we bounce off of 840 and come back up and never fill those two gaps at 742 and 776. Your guess is as good as mine as to where the future is going to go. This is why I play the strategy that I do. Let me know in the comments below, have you been utilizing this pullback as an opportunity to buy more ahead of the split? How much further back do you think we are going to come? Do you think we are going to fill those gaps down at 742 and 776, perhaps post-split? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let me know how this beautiful woman known as Tesla stock has treated you since you have asked her out. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat, that link is down in the description, and if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon, that link is also in the description. Thank you so much, have a great one.